Peace and blessings be unto you. So I want to start off by saying, all praise to Abba Yahweh and the Son of Mashiach Yahushua for giving us another chance to be kings and priests on this earth. Special shalom to the elders of Israel, teaching the Lord's statute commandments that is written, to the brothers out there in the highways and byways fighting the good fight, bringing in the flock. Special shalom to y'all brothers as well. To the brothers and sisters who may not know the Israel or slowly coming in, learning culture and heritage. Special shalom to y'all as well as your boy Zacharias coming at you with a real quick one on the Southern Kingdom history. Right, tied all in with a little video clip. But first, as I was going in, you're going to see a lot of stuff happening in the world. Right, we got Joel chapter 3 playing out before our eyes. Right, the Lord said He'll bring them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which we know as the Middle East, where He will plead with them for His people. Right, so all this is happening because of you. And the word plead means to judge. So, right, so they're going to be judged there, whether they want to go there or not. That's when it's all going to happen, because the Lord's word does not come back void. That's just what it is, right? And I was watching a video on Netflix. I think it's called Code 8. It's going into people with supernatural powers in the future and stuff like that. And it's kind of like how they show, you know, you could touch metal and break it with your hands and stuff. And that scripture, what Paul said in Romans 8, I think 18, he's going into the suffering of this world. Is not even compared to what the Lord got in store for us. You know, it's like we don't even understand the depths of what the Lord got in store for us. You know, as we go through every day, you know, waking up, you know, going to work tired, this, that, and the third bills. But when all that passes, brothers and sisters, we ain't even going to understand the blessings that we're going to get for following what the Lord told us to do. All right, and we're like prisoners of this carbonated bodies that we in. So I'm going to you with the scripture to elaborate on that. I'm going to tie it all in, go into history. We're going to do it like that, all right? So hit y'all with the Fair Use Act, right? Fair Use Act of 1976. I don't own this video whatsoever, and this video is not for monetary gain, just for commentary purposes, all right? So we start off with this quick scripture here first. We're going to do Zechariah 9, verse 11. As for thee also by the blood of that covenant, which, you know, this is heavy because the covenant was made in Exodus chapter 24, and it was the firstborn of the oxen and stuff like that. I was sprinkled on our forehead. This is when we actually became solidified as the Lord's chosen people, right? Now, this is the same thing Christ had to do. Christ was the firstborn. And He had to die, and He had to shed blood, right? And that's why it's called the renewed covenant, right? The Old Testament and New Testament, that's really a bad labeling of our records. It should be the first covenant and second covenant. First contract or renewed contract. That's what it should say. And I think that's what a lot of brothers get jammed up with, and why they have a hard time understanding the New Testament, which is the renewed contract, because everything happened in the old happened in the new. Right, it's just really a replay of what transpired, right? All right, we want to set it off here. Thy prisoners, right? So by the blood of thy covenant, I have set forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein there's no water, right? Who's the prisoners? That's basically what Christ said in Luke chapter 4, right? I'm just paraphrasing, where He said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me to do what? To liberate the captives, because we're prisoners, right? Verse 12. Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. We're prisoners of hope, right? Even to this day do I declare that I will render double unto thee, right? Because this is what we're about to get into. We're going to see who the prisoners of hope are. When I have bent Judah for me and filled the bow of Ephraim, and I will raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. So that's going to come in the future, brothers and sisters. No doubt about it. Or the Lord's word don't come back void. So what I'm going to tap into some maritime law, and I'm going to tie it into the history that I got for you. I'll close it out a quick script, all right? Now, I want you to listen to the words of this man say. I'm going to do a little elaboration to finish, but listen to this word carefully.
When a ship pulls into a harbor, all ships are referred to as female. Airships, rocket ships, sailing ships are always female. Why? There's a very good reason. Maritime Admiralty banking law says all ships are female because they're carrying items They're carrying items for money, and so consequently they are under maritime admiralty law. Admiralty is where we get the word admiral, admiral of the Navy. Let me give you an example of how this works. When a ship pulls into harbor, it parks at the dock, and it ties off at the dock. The captain has to provide for the port authorities a certificate of manifest, because yesterday the ship was not here, but this morning the ship pulled in, so it has manifested. So consequently, all the products, the $800 million worth of TVs or Toyotas, have manifested. So each one of those items coming off of that ship has come off of water. And each end they has come in a ship. And consequently, on a ship, all ships have a captain. The word captain comes from a Latin word capital, money. So the captain represents the money that's on board the ship. And as I said, the captain has to present to the port authorities a certificate of manifest for each and every item. How much does it weigh? What color is it? How many doors does it have? Etc. And consequently, your mother's water broke. And when your mother's water broke, you came out. And this is why you have to have a birth certificate, because you are a maritime admiralty product under international law. You are considered, your body is considered a maritime admiralty product.
There it is, brothers and sisters. You know, a lot of people like to say they're free. No, you're not. You're prisoners, right? And that's what he was elaborating on. They didn't come off no ships. Our forefathers came off the ships. So who's still property of admiralty law? Us. That's why I'm going to go into this history, and I'm going to tell you, I was listening to this brother. This brother was like, oh, it's good to get likes and da-da-da-da-da. Guess what? The elites got your name. I was like, brother, it is worse than that. They know who you are from the time before you was born. Based on your last name, where you were born, where they know exactly what tribe you came from and your lineage, right? I'm going to dive into this history here, and I'm going to show you. All right, take a listen and jump back. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to dive into this book right here, Creole of New Orleans, Race and Americanization, all right, by Arnold R. Hitch and Joseph Losden. Okay, let's get to when this book was published back in 1992, University, basically Louisiana State. All right. So I'm going to dive in to give you the idea where these records came from. Archives of Nationality of Paris. So these are Paris because you had the French, the Spanish, and the Portuguese. They all were involved in the slave trade. So let's get some of the people that they brought over here at the time, slaves and free. The chart right there. But let's get to some of the history. All right, between 1719 and 1731, 22 of the 23 slave trading ships that came from Africa while France ruled Louisiana arrived between June 1719 and January 1731. 16 slave trading ships arrived in Louisiana from Senegal region. 6 ships came from Judah. Funny how that go. Wahuda, a slave trading post, right, on the Gulf of Beni near Dahomey. And one of Cambody, Angola, during the same period. The slave trade from Senegal intensified, right, after 1725, between February and 1726 and January 1731. 12 slave ships from Senegal landed, almost 3,259 slaves. And at Belize, at the mouth of Mississippi River. During the same period, one ship from Judah landed 464 slaves at the same port. And the other slave ships came from Africa to Louisiana, while the colonies under the French arrived in 1743, which was from Senegal. So this is in the university, and this is in French records. So when they want to tell you an identity extremists and all this other nonsense, and this is right here, brothers. This is right here, right? Like, come on. Let's get some more of this. Hold on. Let's get some more. Let's get some more. Now, this is like a little graph showing you how many people from Benin came in there in Congo and how many slaves that was brought in from that little speech of time. And we're going to dive in and get some more here, right? And the English and the Portuguese dominated the entire coast of Angola. The French had little hope of trading in Angola except with great difficulty, or the Company of the Indies had a trading post to Judah, Gulf of Benin, right? There is competed with all the nations of Europe. The Portuguese were making the upper hand of Judah, and the kings of Andres, Alada, and Porto Nova were hostiles towards Europeans and interrupting trade. The slave trade at Judah was becoming uncertain and unprofitable, right? And this is why they really went in to stop doing it and start trading salt and sugar and beads and all that, because they couldn't trade us no more. They were making so much goddamn money, right? And there's another map of showing you how many times a slave ship landed and how many slaves they brought in, right? Right? So understand that thing. They know exactly who you are from the time you were born. You born in Haiti, you born in Trinidad, you born in Jamaica. They know who you are. They know what tribe you come from based on your last name, because when they sold the tribe, like the man said, maritime law, you had to register that slave. So that slave came off the ship, he was registered, and he was sold, and that person bought him, registered him. They understand that thing. And let's get into some West Coast Africa history to show you where they picked this up. Kingdom of Benin, right? This is the West Coast. See what it just said on the book? Kingdom of Judah. All that, Gold Coast. All that where they picked this up from. Where is this from? This is basically a map that this guy did for the king back in the 1700s. So they know exactly who we are, brothers. Negro land map. They know exactly where they picked this up, and exactly who we are, and then exactly what they registered as. All right, let me jump in a quick script. All right, brothers, there you have it. That's the book for you, you know what I mean? If slavery was just about money, then it would be different, but it was personal, because they took our heritage and culture, and they never gave it back to us, right? And they suppressed us with all these draconian laws. And that's what makes it, so atrocious. Because a lot of people say, oh, the Irish were enslaved, or this one was enslaved, the Chinese, but they all still have their names. They also have their cultures. They have 5,000 years. A Chinese man hop on a plane going down to China, you have 5,000 years of history waiting for them. None of you have that. Our names go back to our slave master, right? And they still wouldn't even cough up the records to say who's who. And they know exactly who we are. Dig what I'm saying to you? I'm going to close out with the scripture right here, brothers. Zechariah chapter 13 and 8, and read, and it shall come to pass in that day in all the land, say the Lord, that 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Because a lot of our people, they don't want to listen to what we got to say. We sound crazy, you know, we sound like we are, you know, extremists and all that other stuff, but they're going to find out in that day, and it's coming real soon. And I will bring a third through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. Do you know how gold is tried? Gold is tried through water and fire, right? The 2 elements, right, colors is blue and red. Blue and red together is purple. Purple is royalty. Understand that. They shall be called on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they will say, the Lord is my power. And we're going to call upon the Lord on that day, because it's about to get real hairy up in here. Civil War is going to pop off. They might hit us with a little WW3 head fake. Don't get fall for it. But the war is eventually going to come, right? Famine is going to come as well, because a lot of them trading over there that's stopping these ships is going to affect us down here in food. Prices are going to skyrocket as well. But the Lord got us, like he always do. He had us in Egypt. He had us in Babylon. He had us in Persia. He had us in the Greeks. And he had us in the Romans. And guess what? He's going to have us this time again. All right, with that, brothers, hope y'all got something out of it. Your boy Zacharias. Love y'all. See y'all next time. We out rock Zor. Shalom.